Well, this is my first time to one of these. Anyway, in 1972, and some of us were there at that time, I graduated high school in the San Fernando Valley, so I'm a valley boy. Then I moved to Palo Alto, to the mountains above Los Altos Hills, and I moved to a commune called The Land. It was 800 acres, just beautiful. Joan Baez started it as the Institute for Nonviolence to help returning Vietnam vets get into nature again. And there were other communes there, Black Mountain, Struggle Mountain. And I was 18, I was the youngest single male there. I lived in a trailer up on Sadhana Ridge. And back then, that's when Werner Erhard was doing Est, Muktananda was there, Swami Bhajan, Ida Rolf was alive and well, the Cahotek celebration of consciousness, it was really, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche had a Tale of the Tiger there, in Northern California. It was a happening place. So I lived on this beautiful commune, went to college every day, religious studies major. It was before STDs, it was just a dream come true for guys like me. And on weekends, we wore a hat and shoes. Okay, so that's what we wore on weekends. If someone came to your house for dinner, you always knew what was for dessert. And that's basically how it was. So one day, I'm 19, and one of the women that I was with, who was older than me, said, "Amir, I'm pregnant. It's either yours, John's, George's, or Daryl's." And I knew them all. I loved them all. They were all just great guys. In fact, I even shared some people with some of these people at times on the commune. So Donna went with John, who was older than her, moved to Santa Cruz, started a business, and I was busy going to school, living on the commune. And the next year I went to visit them with my friend Fran, and after we visited them, Fran said, "Amir, that baby looks just like you." And I said, "No, I'm 20, man, it's not mine, I got a whole life to live, that's not my kid." So at 21, I moved off the land, back to LA, and to Colorado for business. I've been here, 38 years. And so then years go by, 5, 10, 15, 20. I marry Nikki. We have 2 kids, Rachel, Eli. Rachel's 30 now. Eli's 25. So I think it was about 6 years ago, I get a call from Donna. 6 years ago. "Amir, John and I aren't together anymore, and we finally told Genesis that John's not her dad, that you are." "What?" "There's my kids and my wife, and I have I said, "Wait, something's not right here. Do you need some DNA from me? How do you know it's not? How do you know it's mine?" "We just know. John knew it was yours. We have another daughter too. We raised them as sisters, but now we told Genesis." And she's kind of pissed. So after the phone call, I tell Nikki, and she's like, "What?" And didn't tell the kids, because we didn't know for sure. So Genesis and I started emailing each other once in a while, and then I tell Nikki about the emails, and she said, "Amir, we have our family to raise. I don't want to know about it until something gets really real." So Genesis and I kind of arranged to meet a couple years later at Donna's house in Santa Cruz. An hour before the meeting, she calls and says, "This is too weird. I can't meet you." And I said, "It is weird. I was 19. So we didn't meet. So years go by, and my sister and Nikki go on a 17-day trip. And during this time, Genesis gets a hold of me and says, "I'm ready to meet you." So I set up a genetic test. So we both send in our specimens at the same time, and a week later, I get a letter, 99.999. So Genesis is married, 2 kids, and it's like, oh my God. So Nikki was coming home the next day, and I had to tell her. And so I called our family therapist. I said, "Bruce, man, I need some help here." So I told him the story. And this is our family therapist. He's known us all for 20-some years. This is him, after I tell him the story. "What?" So I tell it to him again. And he gave me some really good advice. He says, does Nikki know? Yes, she does. Do you have any withholds about it? No. Have you lied to her about it? No. Then you have to trust the relationship. So I told her the next day, and she was fine with it. And I said, I want to meet her, and I want you by my side when I meet her. So a few years later, I went to Santa Cruz to meet her, and saw her mother and her father, and her kids and her husband. And the next year, she came out to visit for a few days. The year after, she did. And she's here with me tonight. This is Genesis right here. That's the story.